Yeah, welcome again to my channel. This is holiday time, and as a teacher, we do a lot of things during holidays. Some engage in farming, some in tailoring, some in bakery, and some other things. But during holidays is a time we take some time to learn other skills. As a Nigerian teacher, we don't rest. We engage ourselves in some of the things we love doing. Like me, I love to farm, I love to till the ground, I love doing things in the farm. So during this period, especially during holiday time, I make out time to harvest or plant. But in this period now, I'm harvesting my yam. The yam I planted 7 months ago, I'm harvesting it during this period because during school time you may not have the whole time to go to your farm, give your time to your farm or to other work. But during this holiday you can devote a whole time for it. So most Nigerian teachers, holiday time is not actually a time for us to just sit, eat, play around. Though some can do such thing and you can make out time to do that, but mostly holiday time, we've already mapped out time to do most things that we left undone during school days. So this time I'm harvesting my yam. First, I'm removing the weeds around the yam, and because the yam is planted together with cassava, and it's not yet time to harvest cassava. So what I normally do is I'm always very careful while digging the soil around the yam. First of all, I remove the stalk, the stick I use in stalking the yam, then weed the surrounding. At the same time, make a little space to see the head of the yam. So once I find out the head, I can now dig the soil around the yam. Gently, as you are digging, is make sure that the instrument you are using, like I'm using shovel, so that the instrument you are using will not injure the yam or scrape it any part, because if it scrapes it, it will start from there to spoil if you are not eating it immediately. So like now, as I'm digging out this one, you see it affected the cassava root. So what I did was I put back the cassava stalk and still fill it with sand. So after each harvest, I make sure I fill the hole from which I harvested the yam, so that these farm pets will not start burrowing inside it and living there. Because once they found a hole there, what they will do is they will start eating your cassava once they start maturing. So as I'm filling the root of that cassava stalk so that it doesn't fall or start getting dry, because this is dry season. So if you don't fill it with enough sand, it may die off from there. So this is the yam I've harvested. This is it. This one is the biggest one. This is cool. It really took time to do that. Yeah, the small ones are the ones I'm going to replant by next planting season, but the big ones are going straight to the kitchen, while the smaller ones are going to the barn, the yam barn. So during holiday time, we take a lot of time, we take our time to learn some other things or do those things that we left undone during school days. For instance, farming is my hobby. I love to farm. I've always aspired to do that. So once I get a space, I don't wait. I don't wait at all. It gives me joy to till the soil, even if it takes me the whole day to do that. Just tilling the soil, working with nature, It gives me a lot of joy. So I love farming. Some people see farming as stress. No. One, I even see it as part of exercise. I'll just gently, I'll be doing my own thing. See now, as I'm digging this soil now, I'll make sure I dig out the sand around the yam. I'll make sure I make a good space around it, like I'm doing right now. I make a space, make sure that the sand does not stop it from, because this is dry season. So if I make out that space, the yam will just be on its own and I can easily bring it out. But it is still strong on the ground. Yeah, now it is now out. I've brought it out. You can easily bring it out. Once you create that space around the yam, you can now easily bring it out. And at the same time, some cocoyam, some cocoyam around there. As you are bringing them out, at the same time, I am harvesting cocoyam. I'm filling up the hole so that it doesn't start accommodating something I don't need in my farm. Another one, yeah. I'm now harvesting another yam. Yeah. Some yam can have 2, 3 in a hole. Some 1. Sometimes you may be expecting a bigger harvest. And unfortunately, you may not have that big, but no matter how little, it is something. It's worth trying. Now I have food for this season. This one is very strong to uproot, but that's still notwithstanding. I have to dig more. I keep digging until the sun releases the yam. I don't need to force it out. Once you force it out, it will break. And once it breaks, the only option you have is to eat it immediately. Now it is now out. I fill up the hole again with sand. Yes, I entered my farm prepared with my hair gear, my rain boots, so that I don't get anything that will obstruct me from having a good harvest. And from this, I have food in the house. I do this often. Each holiday I go to my farm. I can get for my cassava. Once it is time to harvest my cassava, I use it for a lot of things. I use it for abacha, I use it for akpu, I use it for gari, I use it for a cassava flour too.